Welcome to Lab 15, How to Deploy MVC ASP.NET Web Applications on IIS, that is Internet Information Server. But before I move ahead, let me congratulate everyone here to complete this 5 hours and 20 minutes of the training. I'll tell you why. Can you believe, just think about it, can you believe 5 hours and 20 minutes back I was talking about where to get Visual Studio from, how to create a simple hello world, and now we have created an application here which is using JSON, jQuery, Ajax. It is using Entity Framework internally. And sometimes back we talked about async controllers. We learned MVC routing. We learned view data, view bag, temp data, data annotation, HTML helper classes, view model, action result, view result, blah, blah, blah. So many things, we have learned in this 5 hours and 20 minutes. So this video we will dedicate to our hard work, what we have done till now. The application which we have created using JSON, jQuery, Ajax and Entity Framework, with full respect, we will take this application and we will deploy it on IIS. So when we actually create an application, at the end of the day, we have to take it to production. And when we say we want to take an MVC application to production, means we have to deploy that application on some web server like IIS, right? So in this video, we'll talk about how to deploy this application on IIS. And very quickly, before I move ahead with the deployment, till now, this application was named as Hello World, Hello World. So what I've done is I have modified this application, and if you run this application, what I've done is I've just connected the whole thing to a home page. So if you remember, we had a very simple home page, right, which was displaying the current time, etc., by using the view bag, right? So what I've done here is, this is a simple home page I've made. And then from here I can go and go to search customer screen. You can see that we had created a search customer screen. So I can click on this and it takes me to the search customer screen. So there is this search screen here, and from here also I can go back and navigate to my home page. From here I can go and navigate to the add new customer screen, remember. So what I've done is actually I have just renamed the application properly. I've just tidied it up. And I've just linked the pages together. Okay, so you can get this application downloaded from Lab 15 from questponvd.com. Okay, so you don't have to really go and code anything. So this is the application and we want to make it live on IIS. So the first step would be to take this application what we have created and deploy a compiled version of this application in a folder. And then the next step would be to go inside IIS, create a website and point that website to that folder. So what I'm going to do is let me go back to my C drive here, and in my C drive let me create a folder here called as, let's say, customer application. Customer application. Okay, so you can see that I've created a nice folder here called as customer application, and inside this folder we would like to first go and deploy a compiled version of MVC application what we have created. Compiled version means only the DLL and the views, right? Not the controller code. Because when we deploy application, we don't deploy the .cs file with it, right? So for that, let me just go and rebuild my application, right? Just to ensure that we don't have any errors. And in order to go and publish this application or take the compiled DLLs and the views only to that folder, we have to click on build, we have to click on publish here. So here he says that, okay, so you want to publish where? Do you want to publish to Azure site or what like? So at this moment I want to publish to my local folder here. So I'm going to go and click on custom here. The time I click on custom, he says, okay, so what is this profile? Now what happens is, when you are actually putting it on production, right, or you're putting it live, you can have different servers, you can have different environments. For example, I'm publishing this probably on a test machine. Then I have a profile here called as a test. Probably I'm publishing this on a live machine. Then I will have here something saying go live, right? So I can have different kinds of profile if I wish. So at this moment I will just name it as go live, because we are actually going live on IIS. So I'll name this as profile as go live. So the next thing he says that, okay, so this is going to get deployed where? Are you going to deploy it via a FTP, which is connected to a remote server, or is it a local file system or a web deploy? So I'll say, no, this is a local file system here, and the folder name is it is in my C drive customer application. I'll say publish. Now the time I hit publish, what it does is Visual Studio goes and builds your project. You can see, compiles it and publishes the necessary DLLs and the views to the customer application folder. So you can see the whole process here. He says that okay, I published the bin folder with the DLLs, I published the fonts, I published the scripts, your JavaScripts, jQuery, etc. I published the views, I published the shared views as well as the customer views. So if I go to my customer application here, right, my customer application folder here, you can see that he has published the necessary DLLs, with all the system.web.mvc DLLs and Razor, etc. In the views, he has published all our views or Razor views, whatever we have created, and also it has a web config file, which has the database connection string. So you can see now our compiled version of MVC application has been put into the C customer application folder. Very nice. Now before I move ahead with the deployment of IIS, I would like to highlight a small important point here, because whenever I take training, I always get this question: do we need to install anything extra for MVC in IIS? No, you don't have to, because when we do a publish, right, if you see inside your bin folder, this system.web.mvc DLL has everything what is needed to run a MVC application. So you don't have to go and install anything specific inside your IIS. So now the next step is we need to go and create a website and point that website, to this folder here, that is C drive customer application folder, right? So let us go ahead, let us click on start, run, and inside run we need to go and type here inet mgr, means this is the IIS manager actually. Okay, so let's say okay. So there our IIS has opened and you can see the version is IIS 7. So in case you have a different version, then the steps are a bit different. So if you have a different version, do send us a mail. But what I expect is that most of the people have IIS 7 at this moment. Okay. So let me go and expand this plus sign here. So what we have to do now here is we have to go and create a site, a website, okay, and point that website to that folder, right? So right click on this sites folder here, say add website, and let us give a name here saying customer application. The next step is to give the physical path here. So the physical path is this. Now at this moment, inside this computer already I have applications which are running on 80 port. Remember, whenever any application runs inside IIS, right, it needs a port number. By default, all the websites run on 80 port. But if you already have a website which is running on 80 port, then you cannot run again one more website on 80 port. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to say, okay, my port number is 921. Okay. So yes, it is HTTP, and I'll say okay. Now, when you create any website inside IIS, that website runs inside a thing called as application pools. So you can see here, I clicked on this application pools here, and you can see that he has created a separate application pool here called as customer application pool. So what exactly is application pool? Application pool is a separate memory boundary or a separate memory space inside which your web application runs. Now, why do we need a separate memory space for every website? Think about this. You can see on my PC here, I have a lot of websites here, default website, then I have my site one, and also I have customer application. Now let us say that if something happens in my site 123, let us say some kind of a huge load comes in and my site 123 goes down. Now if my site 123 goes down, I don't want my customer application to go down, right? So by putting a separate memory boundary or a separate memory space to each one of these web application, what happens is only that website comes down and not all the websites which are running on that server. But now this new application pool which we have created here, this customer application pool, has a problem. The problem is the .NET Framework version. You can see that it is currently pointing towards 2.0. And if you go and see our version at this moment, so if you go to your Visual Studio to just quickly check what is our version. So we need to go to our Solution Explorer, right click on this, go to Properties, and let us quickly check, what is our .NET version. Oh, sorry, not on the solution. Sorry, you have to click on the project So project properties. So if you go and see here quickly what is a version, you can see that the version is 4.5. So definitely a 4.5 website cannot run inside 2.0, right? So for that we need to go and change this version to 4.0. Remember, if you have a 4.5 website, it can run under 4.0. If you have a 3.5 website, it can run under 2.0 and 3.0, right? So at this moment 4.5, so the nearest one is 4. I'm going to go and select this and say okay, right? Now let us go ahead and browse our application. So I'm going to go and click on browse here. You can see at the right hand side I have the browse thing. So I've selected the website and I'm selecting browse. So you can see that there my website is running. So and my pages are also running. So I'll just click on search customer here just to check. Great, right? So our website is running and you can see that the website is running in the 921 port. Remember, because we had other applications which were running on 80 port, I had given here 921, right? Good. So that brings us to the end of lab 15, and in lab 16 we'll talk about authentication and authorization. So we'll talk about two important ways of doing security in MVC. One is the forms authentication and the other one is the Windows authentication. Now this lab I have put it purposely here first, because for Windows authentication we need to know how to deploy our application in IIS. So that's why I've completed this lab first, because I cannot talk about Windows authentication until I'm not able to deploy my application on IIS. So that's why this lab has come first, and now the next lab will be on authentication and authorization. And definitely, in case you want to contact me, you can contact me on questpoint@questpoint.com. You can contact me on this number. You can also contact me on Skype. And if you want to meet me personally, then I'm available in Mumbai Andheri on Saturday and Sundays at Step by Step Schools. So thank you very much. 10 hours and 30 minutes still pending, and we will complete it. And I'm dead sure that we are going to complete this complete MVC syllabus in a very, very nice manner. Thank you so much.